Good morning, everybody. Bright and early. Today we are setting off on part of a cross-country road trip heading to Michigan, and Nissan has actually lent a brand new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum for our adventure. We're gonna be doing about 1,500 miles between today and then a week from today heading home. But this SUV has a ton of space already, and we got a lot packed in here. I even got my entire computer, so I'll be filming quite a few videos up in Michigan. But we are going to start this journey and see what it's like driving a full day in the Pathfinder. Alright guys, so it has now been an hour behind the wheel of the Pathfinder on our trip. We've clicked over 10,000 miles, a little bit out of the house, and now we are a little bit more than that. But first initial impressions on this SUV, I've already filmed a full review of it. Those were kind of my first impressions, but now really getting some seat time. This has been so far really nice, super high up, really good view around, and I love how we have the navigation. It comes up on the center and the heads up. Got the Apple CarPlay running. Really comfortable, no really complaints, honestly. Got the adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, all that good stuff. And I really like the seating position, how high up this SUV is. I don't think I've ever actually driven an SUV long haul. I've been in the back of my dad's 4Runner on a long trip, but driving this is definitely nice. And the fact that this does have the awesome captain's chairs and everything back there, so far so good. All right, so we are getting into West Virginia. Now, later this year, we are gonna be taking the GT-R on this exact same road trip, and we are in tunnels now. You know what we're gonna be doing in the tunnels in here? We are gonna rip it with the exhaust open, but it's so cool always being in these. Now, the Pathfinder's been great for sure. Unfortunately, though, if I floor it with the window down, yeah, not really does anything with that. But overall, it's definitely been a sweet car or SUV to be in. But later this year, that's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited for taking the GT-R through this same exact spot. It is gonna be so loud.
Yep.
So
everyone's gonna hate us.
I wonder if my flame map, ooh man.
They'll either love it or hate it.
We're gonna love it.
If they don't love it, then they're lame. Yes.
Oh, GT-R, oh, that's gonna be so much fun. And we are back into the wilderness. So a few hours later into the road trip, Lauren's been getting a little bored just chilling. So what have you been doing the last few hours?
I organized our snacks because I like to organize.
So what do you got? Show me everything.
Well, what do you want?
I would really like one of the green granola bars.
Okay. Here you go.
Nice. So we got, tell me what you got.
Definitely did get some fruit roll-ups, and then over here we got some more, and best part,
Pop-Tarts.
we got some Pop-Tarts.
And a perfect Pop-Tart holder, and look at this, under the console we got more stuff and a convenient extra granola bar.
Yeah.
So the Pathfinder is really, really practical. You can fit a whole lot of snacks in it, and I love that storage under that centerpiece on this right side there. That is super cool because it's actually really deep. You can fit cell phones or a bunch of granola bars and fruit roll-ups because we are 10 years old apparently. So we've taken a little detour from the highway just to avoid all the tolls, but let's test out sport mode. We're actually getting better gas mileage than this is rated at. We're getting over 26. It's rated at 25. But even in sport mode now, I don't really think the drive modes do too much. Throttle response is a little bit sharper. And now I'm shifting with the manual paddles. Looking at this road coming up, there are so many twisty turns. When we do this trip in the GT-R, I think this is the route we're gonna take because can you imagine like just ripping through this on the GT-R?
That'd be fun.
This is so like twisty. I'm in sport mode now. But oh my gosh, that's crazy. That is a lot different than just being on the normal highway. But this is gonna be a fun trip in the GT-R. We're gonna burn some gas, but we get definitely the scenic route taken this way, away from some of the highway. But I gotta say, Pathfinder, really smooth to drive. How is it as a passenger, like on these twisties and stuff? What are you thinking?
It's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, do you like the amenities you get and all that good stuff?
Yeah, the seat's comfortable.
And we got the ventilated seats, all that stuff. So definitely a really good option for the family. All right, well that was a really cool Twisty Road. Now, this is a really cool turnoff. And of course we got, you know, the all-wheel drive and all that good stuff. Do a cool photo with this bridge, but Pathfinder's been really cool. I've been enjoying it quite a lot. Testing out the off-road capabilities. And yeah, this is the money shot right here. All right, so after about 400 miles or so, gonna take the first stretch break. Oh, this is a really cool spot. You can see all the coal and stuff back there. Big old bridge. And I love the way this thing is looking with that red color. Oh man. So we got about 400 more miles to go today, and we will be at our destination. Pretty crazy scenery. And that road, we mapped it out to where when we take the GT-R on this trip, we're gonna be able to do that whole thing. And there's a gas station right before it, so we're gonna be able to use the 85 on that whole road, probably burn a whole tank. That was like 40 miles of crazy twisties. Surprisingly, the big old family SUV did pretty good on it, for sure. All right, so we are leaving this really cool little spot, and it's time to get back on the highway, and then we'll burn some more gas and see how long the Nissan can go on the rest of the tank. All right, 388 miles, and we're down to just over a quarter tank left, and 355, so not too bad. All right, 53 bucks to top this off from a little less than a quarter tank of gas. All right, and actually I forgot, it's your turn to drive. All right, this Pathfinder's got a lot of space. Now, yeah, you might want to move this. The cool thing is though, when you get it all squared away, we have the memory seating, which I think is a huge plus, especially for different sizes. And with a full tank now, we got over 500 miles on the range. This car actually does pretty well on gas. We were getting over 26 mpg, which is more than the rating. So we got 322 miles left to go. Let's keep back to cruising. We're getting closer now, only 280 miles to go, and we're still at a nice full tank of gas. I will say I really like the navigation system. All the depictions you get on the main screen, and then the one you get all there, and then the heads-up display. That is a really cool touch. All right, well, we have made it into Michigan now. We still got a little over 100 miles to go in the Pathfinder to get to our destination. So let's kind of do our ending review before we get to the house. So Lauren, you haven't driven nearly as many cars as me, obviously. You've pretty much driven the cars that you've owned and your family's owned. And aside from my GT-R and other GT-Rs, you've never driven a Nissan.
No, I haven't.
So this is an all new generation. This is their newest Pathfinder. What are your kind of thoughts after 200-300 miles?
I like it a lot. It's really comfortable, and it's such a solid vehicle. And like, you can just tell by driving it. Like
it's like hard to
so
pinpoint.
Nice.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint that feeling. Some other SUVs that are like this decent size with a third row, they feel a little tinny. You can tell it's like a tank. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, like no rattles or anything. Like super nice, and like I like the display and everything. My next car needs to have that.
Yeah, because that's nice. Because I was messing with the center screen, the infotainment, and yet she still has all of her navigation, the turn by turn, all that stuff. Which is, I mean, a lot of cars do that nowadays, but that's definitely a benefit. My only nitpicky complaint, the steering assist, intervention, lane keeping, all of that. It works pretty good, especially on straight roads. Like through Ohio, it's been really good. Through some of the roads that have a little bit more twisty turns, it does wander just a little bit, and the steering wheel, it'll keep telling you to, you know, put your hands on the steering wheel. It has basically a sensor in it that feels your resistance. I think that could be a little bit more sensitive to actually feel your hands on the wheel, because a few times my hands are on the wheel and it'll tell me to put my hands on the wheel because it doesn't feel any resistance. So if they could just fine tune that a little bit, then I think the radar cruise and all that stuff would be perfect. Comfort's been great. The ride quality I think is really good, and the road noise. I mean, we've had the music on a pretty low volume, not blasting music, and it's been enjoyable. I'm really, really impressed, guys, honestly. I would say people who are looking at like a normal, nice SUV, a third row that's not a giant, you know, Yukon, this is something to look at. Like, because you weren't a fan of the Yukon, how big it is.
No, way too big for me.
But if we had a bunch of kids, this could be something doable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I like the gas mileage on here.
Yeah, so we have, we burned another quarter of a tank. We still have over 300 left on the tank. We put 50 bucks in this for a little more than 3/4 of a tank, and that got us like 400 miles, something like that.
Yeah, like we only have to make one stop. If we took my car, it'd be 2 stops.
Yeah, and we've been getting over 26 mpg. Pretty economical for what it is, and this is the only fill up we're gonna do today at all.
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to drive all week up in town on what we have left.
Yep.
We'll fill it up before we leave, and then one fill up on the way down, and we're good. So 200 bucks in gas to do 1,500 miles. All right, guys, we have made it to our destination. 11 hours of driving later, and we are there. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with Nissan's new lineup. Obviously, they've done a lot of redesigns and everything with their products, and after driving in the new Pathfinder all this way, I'm even more excited about the new Z, because the technology and stuff that was in this was super easy to use, worked really well, and I think Nissan is really on point with making a great product. So I'm super excited for that. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Check out the description below. I'll have more of a write-up for our road trip all the way back. That'll be another 700 or 800 miles to go. But that is it for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next video.